Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 30&Go. I hope you all had a great week. It's been a very busy week, in and out of action figure photography and YouTube and everywhere else. Well, I look a little tan. I think I might do this a little bit more often. Look, yeah, look, that Miguel is coming out, right? But yeah, it's been a busy week. It's been a great week. It's going to get even better with my next guest. I'm thankful you guys are all here tuning in. It's going to be a very fun episode, and I cannot wait to get started. So let's do it. We got MozToy Photography Box in the house. What's going on, my dude? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. I was watching a whole bunch of reaction videos and stuff before the show. I like to do that sometimes. Watch like people watching. One recently was Cinepals are watching Beverly Hills Cop 2. They'd never seen it before. And,
Get out!
So I get a kick out of those sometimes. If it's a movie, it's kind of like my way of watching a shorter version of a movie I want to watch again because I know I'll fall asleep if I watch the movie.
Oh, that's actually pretty clever.
I got this narcolepsy thing going on whenever I watch something I've seen before. Now I'm like.
For me, watching, so I just finished King of the Hill, and I'll ask my wife, what is this, maybe the seventh time?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Sixth or seventh time watching the full season in its entirety. And that's because, like, while I'm sitting on the computer, like 3D modeling or doing something, I just, my focus needs to be elsewhere while having, what do you got there? What's that?
Oh, is
that cheesecake?
No, it came from the truck I bought for my turtles.
Oh,
the TMT Mayhem truck. It's
yeah.
I'm not gonna put it on top of my truck though.
I honestly thought you were having cheesecake just now, and I got hungry.
Dude, I wish, man. God, I love cheesecake. What's up, Gate 13? How you doing? And Mike's here, man.
Cheesecake doesn't love me.
But I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna.
No, it's all right. It's perfectly fine. Yeah. So rather than popcorn, plastic cheesecake.
Yeah. Look, no pizza.
Yeah, so I don't even know where I left off at, but let's get
King of the Hill and watching the season of King of the Hill.
Yeah. I just
I was listening and acting silly
thank you. Because I wasn't listening to myself clearly. So I just there's so much to watch too, and it sucks. But I missed a day of there wasn't so much to watch, and the conversation was kind of like, oh yeah, you know what? I did check that out. Now the conversation is like, hey, did you check out? And they're like, no, I don't have that service. That's like,
it's rough.
Okay, well, the water cooler conversation has turned all the way down.
We have most of the services here, except for the one I kind of want again. I had it for a while, but Shudder, I had it.
Oh,
but then I wasn't watching it that much because
horror stuff.
Yeah, and then but then we canceled it because I had to make some cuts somewhere. So
yeah, it's all about fine tuning, right? When you make those cuts, it's like, okay, I just did that with I cut off what was it, Crunchyroll, and
I cut that off too.
Funimation. Yeah. And I cut it off when I found out that some of the purchases that I had made on Funimation wasn't going to carry over because Crunchyroll is now the parent company.
Oh, that sucks.
I was like, boo. Well, did you pick up anything this week?
Oh, this week. Just my was that this week? Well, this is the 22nd. I got, Hallows Eve.
Let's go full screen with that. You all right with full screen, by the way?
Sure.
I always ask.
I'm just in a diaper here. It's okay. She's got Green Goblin's Mezco bag though, because that way she can open it. I gave her.
I like that.
So
yeah,
the plastic bag, and I was doing a shot with this. I didn't like the shot. Sorry.
It's interesting to me to know if that hood is plastic.
Yeah. This is a Hasbro, so this is all Marvel Legends. It's all plastic. But she first appeared as Hallows Eve in Amazing Spider-Man 14. I think 2 years ago, year and a half ago. But anyway, it was during the Dark Web storyline in Spider-Man,
All right, yeah.
which was a rehash basically of Inferno. But
okay, oh my God, where is it? Oh, I put it away.
What, the Inferno?
I have the full volume.
Oh yeah, I got that.
That's wow. Okay, this is so great because now our conversation is going to be about comic books. Instead of like, hey, what can I do to fix this?
I'm a comic book guy, man.
Dude, I don't, it's so I don't meet comic book people anymore. It's like I just picked up the 9 through such and such of Saga, the second omnibus, right? And you'll get like, what the hell is an omnibus? Or like, wait, they like all that stuff. And it's just like when you said Inferno, I was like, oh my God, that was a
X-Men 240s. Yeah,
revisited that book. And I was reading it, and my wife was like, "Can you read it out loud?" And I was telling her bedtime stories from it.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
Yeah, it was so sweet.
Inferno's pretty good, man. Fall of the Mutants was before that, though.
Life into me. That's so cool, Maz.
Fall of the Mutants was the first big crossover book that Marvel did.
Yep.
Secret Wars wasn't really a crossover. Fall of Mutants, I think, was the first big multi-title crossover. Because I mean, Secret Wars, they had the one main book, and then they had like little offshoot books like tie-ins, but it wasn't really a crossover. It was like you could read them or you didn't have to read them. But the crossovers for Fall of the Mutants was like you kind of had to read it. Same with Inferno. So that's when they decided to just start draining our wallets.
I was gonna say that was like one of the first books that I remember reading. On the side, they had that little panel to understand what went on beforehand.
Yeah,
pick up issue blah 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 of blah blah blah. Like, oh, I got to do that now.
Yep,
and
they tell you where to read.
Went from to.
It's a good marketing technique. Shout out to Pablo and Tripping with Toys and No Chewing and Gate 13. Just saying hi to everybody I saw. We're not ignoring you, I promise you.
No. I'm throwing. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm throwing everybody's stuff up in the chat as a form of acknowledgement because I could probably talk to you about comic books like all day now. Well, night. Yeah,
I got some on the wall, but I would have to turn the camera, and then I would never get it straight again. So
I don't do that with mine either. Like it takes me a long time.
Just where I want it. But if you see, right here, these are the original Secret Wars figures right here from the 80s.
Oh wow.
This one, this one is the green or the Hobgoblin, which is the one as a kid I always wanted and could never find. And next to him is Spider-Man, and then I have the first appearance of Hobgoblin up there on the wall.
You're making me look for it. I really want to geek out with you right now, but I don't know where I put it. Damn it. To have a 9.8 first appearance of Venom.
Oh, nice. All right. Hold on.
In the box and everything. I used to keep it right here, but something fell on it, and like before this was all like Mezco in back of me. It was Marvel Legends all themed out with like D. Blake makes signs and stuff like that. Yeah, I have no idea where that is.
First appearance of Miles Morales.
Beautiful. Fallout. Yeah. Fallout. That was great. That was a great book. No worries, Pablo.
I found this for $5. So
you still can, by the way, if you want to. Shoot it.
I found that for $5. So. Can't complain.
That's awesome, man. We got a like, Maj, you're gonna have to you're gonna make me have to put in here a kind of like
because I've been wanting to talk about this and I have not had anybody to talk about this with. I'm very butthurt, and I'm sorry if you guys aren't, but I'm very butthurt what they're doing right now with Silver Surfer.
Well, Maz, I got good news for you. I got great news for you. It takes place in a different universe, so it's okay.
No.
Yeah.
This is my big butthurt about it, okay, right now. My thing is, Jack Kirby didn't get credit for a lot of things that he did with Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
He got credit for Silver Surfer. That was his character.
Yeah.
Stan didn't try to steal that one like he did with a lot of the other ones. And then they went and took Silver Surfer and gave it to a character that was in a 4-issue arc of Hercules. And who the frack read Hercules?
No one until
And
he met
now they're
Thor.
all like, hey, but we did have a girl version. And I'm like, why? What? I love this actress they got. I love Ozark, and I think her character was great, and I've seen her in other stuff, but man, I was like,
Yeah,
so butthurt.
it's painful. It's painful because it puts a wet blanket on what we're expecting and not expecting of Fantastic Four, and it of all days, 4/4 Fantastic Four day, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of I definitely catch the sentiment, you know.
Well, let's hope
Hydro Walker says, "What's up?"
I wasn't gonna
Mike is multitasking right now with Trevor.
Yeah.
Mike, it's good. It's good for Mike. He's picking up some photography tips, you know.
Well, hopefully they don't mess this one up when they go ahead and bring this guy to and then I'm done. But after this one,
Let me put you full screen.
I'm hoping they don't mess up this.
Oh my God. I don't, you know what? Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree, but I don't even know how they could at this point. It's going to have to be with the Agatha series, right?
I probably, yeah. That would make the most sense.
Because of the fly on the curtain.
Yeah.
Technically first appearance, right?
Yeah, technically. But we'll see. I'm done pulling out the comic books. I got more, but I'm not going to do it.
Man, I
toys, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
We killed 12 minutes. It's usually 30 minutes and go, but fuck it. It's like so, and then you pulled like out of thin air. You pulled out one of my favorite comic books that I hunted for.
Which one was that?
I'm in New York. We got some great comic book stores, but I could not find the omnibus of Inferno.
Oh,
and then you just come out and say, yeah, from Inferno. And I'm like, wait, what did you?
I got the original printing paperback version of the story of Inferno, and then I got the original issues because I got a lot of floppies. That's what we call the individual books.
Yeah. Shoot, I remember going in a comic book store and they didn't. It was included in the price, the plastic bag and the cardboard. Now it's not.
Yeah. Well, if you watch the reel I did for when I did my magic shot, I showed you some of the X-Men comics there. I showed you the X-Men 2 because the plan was to shoot this guy. I couldn't find this guy at the time, so I shot my magic figure, which is a statue, and even though she's not really in the show, I was trying to give props to the show. So I in the reel I gave you I filmed my X-Men 200, which is the trial of Magneto, and then I filmed X-Men 221, which is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister, and then I did X-Men 241, which is his first cover with Madeline Pryor, aka Goblin Queen, in his hand, and it's in the reel. It's right there at the beginning. It's just bloop, bloop, bloop.
So I'm kind of nerdy with this stuff. Like, you ever notice in the first issue of appearance of Mr. Sinister that they didn't refer to him as Mr. Sinister, with the exception of the comic book cover?
Yeah. No.
Nathaniel and Essex and stuff like that.
It's been a while since I read it. I just filmed the cover.
But that's the only thing I really remember from seeing Nathaniel Essex,
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And then geeking out when I go to Manhattan one day and there's the Essex Hotel and I'm like, what? It's all real?
But
silly me.
But anyway, we're digressing. What is everybody doing here?
All right, so let's get into 30&Go. We had an amazing 15 minutes. I mean, one of the best 15 minutes geeking out with comic books with you just now. So thank you so much for that.
Pablo sent you an email.
Oh, okay. That's the thing he wants me to buy for the white box that I shoot in. Yeah, so he's helping me with a couple of things.
I need to get a light box too, because I noticed I was talking to Mr. Lee and he sometimes used one, so I'm like, maybe I need to get one because I like his style, and sometimes I want to shoot in that style. I tried that with a couple of shots. So
Yeah, his style has a lot of interesting stuff,
There's a lot
you
of
know?
punch to his shot. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Um,
right. So
Nancy.
let's get into our presentation, Maz.
Okay.
This is 30 and Go, where we ask you some questions about you and we get to know a little bit more about the guy behind the lens.
Okay.
Right.
I like soup. Soup is good.
All right, so this session I call one word only. So we can elaborate on it, but we just want to get your initial reaction to a photo that I'm going to share with you. Okay.
Okay. It's a bat.
It's either a bird or a plane. No, it's all right. You went all Rorschach on me for those who.
Well, I mean, you kind of got me that with the one word picture thing. So.
Oh, wow. Oh, damn. I never put it together in terms of like this looks like a Rorschach thing.
Well, at least you ordered it. Collector 425 in the house, man. Smash that
Yes,
like
he
button.
is.
Yes,
Thank
guys.
you for that. I appreciate that always. That's my dude right there. He beat me in a raffle, but I still love him. He's still a bro. It's okay.
Sorry, I got the habit of looking over at the chat all the time from my show. So if I'm
no
reading,
worries, man. You know what? keep me on my toes. All right, you ready? One word only, okay?
All right.
Take a second. Breathe it in.
I can't do that. I'll cough.
He wasn't lying.
Oh. Trying to put it into one word. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I got all these ideas, but it's not one word.
So, for those who are not in the know, this is Nolans. Nolans, as they say, home of Mardi Gras, home of amazing food, home of a great party, and an even better party if you have beads on certain days. So,
yeah, see, beads would have been a good one word now that you said that, but but you've said it. Now I got to think of a different one. Damn it!
Hit the thesaurus, type in beads, and there you go.
No, you've already gotten that.
So
we'll just say drunk.
Drunk, beautiful, Bourbon Street drunk.
Yeah.
So
that is the French Quarter, all that stuff there. So
yeah, exactly, man. I hear so much about this place, and it seems that it would be an infectious place to be for.
I've been there once, and I hated it actually.
You hated it. Tell us a story about.
For one, I was working at the time, so I didn't get to really enjoy the town.
Oh, okay.
But what I did find out is you cannot make any left turns in New Orleans.
Really? That's like Jersey.
They're all U-turns. And that was infuriating.
That is just
infuriating trying to get around. But yeah, I was not only I was working there, but then they didn't pay me, so I was trapped there until my parents wired me money.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow, that's rough, dude. I'm sorry.
So I was contracted by another company to go do something for this other company, and of course, the contracting company for me screwed me. So,
jeez.
Yes.
So not great memories. You should probably go back and make some good.
Oh, and it was hot as hell because it was summertime and humid. Yeah, and I live in Georgia, and I'm saying that it was hot as hell. It was just, it was humid, hot, just
nasty hot though, right?
Nasty hot.
That's how it gets out here in New York, man. We go from like, I mean, today we were supposed to potentially get snow. Next week is going to be 70.
It was windy and today here in Georgia.
Trevor could tell you. And Trevor gets the worst of it where he's at.
Yeah, there's no Rosses or anything near him.
They get it. Yeah, me too, by the way. We only live like 35 minutes on a good day. but with New York traffic, it's Mrs. Go, one extreme to the next. All right, let's keep moving and grooving.
There's another one word.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, there's an easy one. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do because I'm Shogun. There we go.
I like it.
There's that show. I've been
Shogun.
watching it. I love it.
Yeah.
So it's in my head, and I'm seeing the Japanese, everything. Just Shogun.
I mean, whoever took this photo, man, they know what they're doing because this is such a beautiful, beautiful place, you know. And I would love the view, you know.
Yeah, I'd love to visit this country, man.
Yeah, so would I. And it's, let me tell you, I've been doing this now for like 4 seasons. I don't know how many episodes. I don't really keep count, but this is a very, very popular wish I could go destination. So you are right up there with your fellow collectors in terms of going to this spot and experiencing the culture out there.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Have you guys been watching Shogun?
I haven't. I tell you, man, when we were in the green room, I wasn't kidding about King of the Hill.
Okay. I've been rewatching a lot of Big Bang Theory lately because I can fall asleep to it because I can
fall asleep to that too. That might be next on the menu.
But you know what? The more I watch it, the more the show pisses me off.
Oh yeah,
it's not making fun with the geeks. It makes fun of them. I mean, and I'm like, at first I was like, okay, because I was just happy to see like my culture up there, like the comic book store,
right? Yeah,
and then later on, you're like, these are like the epitome of what anybody would like without any homework would think of a nerd. This is like watching Revenge of the Nerds sitcom, but not like
without the jobs
empowering them at all. They end up getting women and all that, except
right?
For Raj,
yeah.
But,
Doom.
I like Sheldon is why I watched it. I like Sheldon. I like Sheldon the first few seasons. I thought he was entertaining.
Yeah, his character definitely starts leading towards more sociable character.
Yeah, when he gets a girlfriend, it's kind of downhill. Like he gets.
I mean, that was the same with the introduction to the little mousy voiced girl. Bernadette.
Yeah.
And then also Amy Farrah Fowler. She was very Sheldon-like until
No, they completely just rewrote her and made her like all driven by her sex drive, and I'm like,
she her loins burned for Sheldon, right?
But anyway,
I'm glad we've got another thing in common.
Nothing about that.
So let's hit the next slide.
We've already discussed this.
I know. One word though. It's so funny because we discussed it in the green room. Just with that slice.
Diabetes.
Yeah, for real, right? Fucking.
That's my one word.
Waistline. Is that one word? Waistline?
No. The best you might be able to hyphenate it in some countries.
It's one word. I have Scrabble right now, and I'm just kidding. But yeah, so what's your favorite topping on cheesecake, or is there a specific flavor of cheesecake?
Man, all right. So on our anniversary, we go to this high-end restaurant.
Beautiful.
We've been doing that for a couple years now, and the cheesecake I get is like this big. It's like a big round thing about this tall and this big, and the top is creme brulee, and then it's got the freshest, God blessed fruits, just all like blueberries, strawberries, just everything in a nice sauce.
Yeah.
So I don't need a top. Just give you that. I'll take that. That's the whole reason why I go to eat there. The hell with the steak and the lobster and every other stuff. Give me the cheesecake that my dessert.
Yeah. What do they say? Dessert first, life short.
Especially for us diabetics.
Yeah, it's not fun. That's for sure. You start getting that low and you get real low. All right. One word.
Jambalaya.
Hell yeah. It's one of my favorite things. I could probably eat a pound of this. And
I haven't quite fell in love with the not the shrimp, the
crawfish.
Crawfish though. I mean, I've had them a couple times. Like I've had them fried, which is easy. The concept is easy. You just have, I've had a po' boy, a crawfish po' boy. I made sure to try to eat some local food there when I was there. But that was fried, and I was okay with that. But the whole like ripping the head off and sucking it out, that's just kind of weird to me. And I've tried it once or twice. I didn't hate it, but it was just a lot of work.
So
for such a little reward, you don't get a lot of meat out of that.
It's not a lot. It really isn't a lot, and it sucks because you look at the thing and you're like, this is what it has to offer. We are doing a little too much with this.
Yeah. But I'm having crab tomorrow. That's the plan for tomorrow's dinner.
Oh, beautiful. That sounds
Dungeness crab.
So my friend who moved down to the south, I think, does Drexel live in Georgia?
No, North Carolina.
He moved to North Carolina, and they did a the crawfish and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when his son was at a very young age, he was very impatient and grabbed one of the live ones out of the bucket and was trying to eat it. And they got it on video. I was like, whoa, I put some butter on that thing first.
I grew up on a lake, so I was able to catch crawdads fairly consistently, but not enough that I would be like, let's go make some, because it was never like, I would never have like a bushel of them or anything. Just like one or two. But sorry.
No worries. I got the same thing going on. What's up, Loco Lou?
Loco Lou in the house.
Yes, delicious.
What's poppin', Loco Lou?
Right there is infamous order from any Chinese restaurant is the shrimp with the lobster sauce.
I love lobster too, but lobster's just too damn expensive for what you get too.
Yeah,
crab makes a bit more sense to me because I feel like you get more for it.
But crab is a work. You eat
it
legs?
Is work, but I've gotten good at it.
Yeah, me too. I'm proud.
And it helps pace myself too. So I don't like just wolf it all down and go, I want more. At least what I got is enough because I've paced myself breaking apart every one of those legs and
yes. I've come accustomed of breaking everything first, putting the crab meat to the side, and and working my way towards it. And then after a while, my wife and I I'll order the crab legs and something that looks like this, and my wife will be like, oh, they have sweet potato waffle fries and shrimp po' boy, and we got like the complete opposite. But by the time I'm finished with the pulling of the crab,
she's waiting on you.
She's like, hey, can I? I'm like, I always give her the biggest, that I'm like, here,
Lou's a fan of the shrimp though. He's a fan of the shrimp. He says the shrimp, Lou.
I say the same thing, Lou. See, I say the same thing. I say sea cockroach. It's true.
One thing that's funny though is when my wife and I go out to dinner and we both try something new, she's always ended up with the meal that I kind of wish I had ordered. I don't know if you ever had that happen to you. You're like, eating it.
It has.
You're okay with it, but you're looking at hers and you're like, that looks so much better than what I got. Man.
It's always at some place like Cheesecake Factory or something like that, where I think I know what I want, and then we get the plates, and I'm just like, yeah, I made a bad choice.
Yeah. You're like, why didn't I do that?
All right, next rolling slide. We're going into the deep dive, my man. So this is where my thumbs start burning because I am on your profile looking for something that you may have forgotten, and hopefully you take a liking to what we've found and maybe even want to revisit it. We've had
what you need to do is go to my old profile that was hacked because that's got my old.
Hold on to that.
I'm blocked from it. I can't go there. They blocked me.
We're gonna deep dive, okay?
No. I've got the pay. Oh yes.
So tell us about this shot. Awesome Batman, by the way.
Dude, that is a custom Batman. I love this Batman. He sent me back some bones. He was pricey, but that's leather on his gauntlets are leather. His of course the hands themselves are plastic. The bat symbol's leather. This was a custom piece, and I try to shoot it every once in a while because I love it. This is a
beautiful piece.
Rovonic Studios. This is 1/6 scale. This is a Fison M35 body. And he's just a beefy boy, and he does all different types of Batmans. I want to order more, but they are so
Yeah, that 1/6 scale, that price is not fun.
Yes,
I
don't want to say how much I paid, but there's
I
utility belts leather too. I think he even did the head sculpt for the new SSR Dark Knight. I think.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that.
I'm not.
Of course, SSR is a third party as well, but
disclaimer: we are not quoting anyone. So this was taken in April of 2022.
Yeah.
Now that you're more seasoned, what would you do differently?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
I might try to do a background with it, but this was always just a quick little shot I did. Because I saw the pose, I had it in the pose, and I was like, I want to just nail this pose real quick. I want to shoot this pose. So it was what the shot was about. I wanted to shoot the pose. It wasn't about anything else. And then after I got it, I was like, let's do some snow, because that's not in camera. That's all photoshopped in there, the snow.
Okay.
He's actually on his stand, so I photoshopped that out.
Great.
Because that walking pose, his boots unfortunately don't have any bend to them at all, so he can't balance if you're walking them at all.
Yeah, I'm having a problem with some figures in their ankle when you try to do a walking pose now.
Mm-hmm.
The newer figures are getting annoying.
Yeah, you usually have to put a stand or some kind of something to help them out.
Something, yeah.
But I'm really pretty happy with this. I need a real camera first. He's talking about his Nikon versus my Canon. Whatever. It's a choice, man.
Nah.
It's a choice, man. I went with the Canon because I initially bought it for YouTube. I bought the EOS M50, and I initially bought it for YouTube because it was such a versatile camera at the time for doing any kind of YouTube stuff. It was good if I wanted to go out and vlog, which I was never big on, but if I wanted to, I could do it because it's got the flip out screen. That rotates, and
I love that.
It was like the high recommended camera for the price, and that's why I did it. And then COVID, I was shooting some photos before COVID, but when COVID happened, I really kind of stopped doing YouTube because my wife and I shared an office.
Oh, so
it's hard for me to do anything when she's in there on the phone working.
Of course.
And I'm like just trying to record a video, It's just,
yeah.
So I started taking this camera more and more and taking photos with it, and I even bought a second one. But the reason why I stayed in the Canon ecosystem because I had lenses. I was like,
that's what I tell my wife. It's like I don't want a new camera, I want a new lens. And you rock the Nifty 50 a lot, right?
A lot of my shot. In fact, I think this was a Nifty 50. It should tell you on the picture, the description.
No, we just captured the photo, not all the data.
Well, now you're gonna make me look. Hold on. I'll scroll and look. I'm pretty sure it's a Nifty 50.
It's really far down, Moz.
I know. I just got
Instagram. I'm just telling you, man. Between you and Pablo, I got a nice
that's
callus on my thumb. So
Pablo, you probably have more so because he shoots like 20 times a day.
He shoots so much, but I found such amazing things in Pablo. I really hope you revisit some of that stuff that we spoke about in the last episode, because that is some cool stuff. As a matter of fact, I would love to see a Pablo challenge.
Oh, well, what do you mean a Pablo challenge exactly?
PL toy box challenge, recreate,
Oh, so recreate a Pablo shot, but
or re-image the shot. You know what I mean? Like put your own spin on it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff that I showed Pablo, and he was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that."
Wow. So Batman is really far down here.
So we're gonna head to the next slide, and we'll revisit it when.
Oh, I'm there. I found it. Ha.
Oh,
no, that's my 32 millimeter. I don't use that one so much anymore. That was before I bought my 50. That's what it was.
See, look at that.
I didn't buy my Nifty 50 until around November of 2022. So, I'm still shooting my 32, which is an EFM, which is made for that particular camera. So I'm not using a speed booster / adapter. So that's the EFM 32 millimeter. It's a really nice lens too, but that 50, of course, is on mine, since I got a crop sensor, is more like akin to a 70 or something, because it's a 1.6 crop on my. So
okay.
Sorry.
No, it's not just a show; it's an education.
I try.
Yeah, you succeed.
I'm not educated. Who is? Oh, I don't
How
know
about
who that is
this one,
anymore.
Moz? Who is Invader Moz?
Oh man, that's an old name. I had a hard time leaving that name. So I was big into Invader Zim in the early 2000s. I personally, I don't talk to him anymore really because we just kind of stopped hanging out.
Drifted
But
apart?
I would, Jonah Vasquez and I were, friends for a couple years. We would talk online a lot because I stalked him a little bit, and I found him on AIM. Remember that?
Oh wow, yeah. Welcome.
And we would shoot the shit, and then I met him at Dragon Con, and we would hang out, played some GameCube and stuff, and so but I was Invader Zim fan, right?
Cool.
And Maz was a name I already had because I was a Morrissey fan.
All right.
And I had, since I was a Morrissey fan, this is even before Invader Zim, I had Maz on my Zippo when I used to smoke. It just said
No
Maz.
way.
The Morrissey fan. So at the coffee shop that we always frequented,
Yeah.
somebody picked it up and they started calling me that. So I kind of adopted that name, Maz. Not that I ever think that I'm Morrissey, but it's kind of grown on me. That's what all my friends call me after that. Just Maz. So that's why that part's there. But the Invader part's there for being an Invader Zim fan. And I even did an edit. I wouldn't say a remix, because all I did was yank out the German lyrics of this song and input Invader Zim samples into the song, and it made it really cool. It made it really cool. The samples worked perfectly, and you couldn't even tell that I pulled out all the lyrics and stuff. But it was a whole bunch of German blah blah blah. So I didn't know what the hell they were saying anyway.
Yeah, of course.
And so the song is called the Invader Moz Mix because it's an Invader Zim, inspired sampled song. So that's where Invader Moz was born, because I called it the Invader Moz Mix because it was the Invader Zim remix or edit of a song. So
yeah, you made your own remix.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. I've done it a few times.
It's a cool remix.
So my dad was a DJ for a very long time in the rides out here in New York City, Coney Island. So I grew up in a house with music. I grew up with, I never really realized it, but the wall where our TV was pretty much speakers, and my father angled them in specific ways that he could fit shelves. And on each side, and occasionally, he'd have me. I knew crossfading by the time I was like 9, and how to catch the beat for a deep scratch, stuff like that, like all the old tools of the trade, man. Well, go to like a new store, and it's like, oh yeah, you could scratch the CD. Like that was the last time I really looked at it. I was like, what?
Yeah, it wasn't really scratching it, but yeah.
But now they have
put in the private chat. I put
the wavelengths of the song, and you could just cut there. You don't even need to know the song.
Yeah.
Back then, you had to memorize it.
Oh, I got one of those rigs, man. I know.
Yeah. So yeah,
I have the first generation Final Scratch.
Yeah.
Rig. In the private chat, I gave you a link so you can listen to it later.
Okay. Cool.
I sent it to one of my friends on this radio thing I used to do, and he posted it on his YouTube. That particular song we were talking about. So I just linked that to you. But yeah,
check it out.
It's I don't know if it's got the it doesn't have the Doom song on there.
Okay.
The way I play it now, like if I were to play it in the club, is I actually have the Doom song at the beginning of it. The Gur. You're familiar with Invader Zim, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna sing the Doom song now, and he starts singing it for like 30-40 seconds, and I do the whole thing, and then it breaks into the song. It's right on the beat, works really well. So
that's awesome, man.
It gets them all riled up because they like Invader Zim stuff.
It gets people riled up.
Yeah,
it's provocative.
Yeah. I also did an edit of Darude's Sandstorm with Gandalf from Lord of the Rings facing the Balrog.
What?
Yeah. So like right during that drop after that break, he's like, "You shall not pass," and you hear the thunder crack from that, and then it goes right into the thunder crack and Sandstorm, like right on top of each other. So it sounds great, and it goes right into.
You have like this huge creative.
I don't do so much of that anymore.
Man. It's a beautiful thing. It's so cool.
I don't do so much of that anymore though. I got really burnt when I bought my MacBook because back then is when they switched from the the old Mac system to the Intel system.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
all
was
my
there
software stopped working when I bought the
Yep.
Intel Mac. So I just kind of stopped dealing with it. I was so mad.
Even when they switched back to their own and M1 came out, half of my software didn't work.
Yeah. So all my NI Complete that I bought was worthless. I was like, God damn it.
All right, let's hit the next slide. This was posted May 2022. Tell us about it.
That's the old school Figma Guyvers, Guyver 1 and Guyver 3. Shout out to Logo Lou for letting me know that they existed, because from the 90s, I loved Guyver, the Bio Boosted Armor episode 1, the episodic one, not the movie. I love that, and there wasn't a lot that I could put them against, so I bought the Haya Toys Alien Egg packs. I think I bought 1, maybe 2. I don't remember, but those are 1/18th scale. These Figmas are non-scale, so they don't really work with 1/12. They work more with 1/18th, as you see here, but they're still too big for 1/18th. But because an alien egg should go up to right above the knee. Sorry,
they're aliens, so you know.
Yeah. The background diorama is something I built. It's really shoddy. In fact, my poor ability to take care of things, it's basically falling apart. The Weyland-Yutani symbol is just a Weyland-Yutani sticker. I didn't bother to even adhere it. I just kind of taped it on there because I didn't want to waste the sticker.
Wow.
And then the explosion is polyfill with some paints on it, so, and a light in it. But yeah, all those face huggers came with the eggs, and yeah, I love these guys, man. Of course, the new Figma Guyver is bigger. For Guyver 1, they didn't do a new Guyver 3 yet. If they're going to, I don't know. But yeah, man, Guyver is my jam, dude.
I don't know either, and I purposely picked this photo because Guyver's hot again, and, hoping that through the toy community and the toy photography, they see something and say, hey, you know what, let's try.
I would hope so, man. I really want Guyver 3, and I want the male Guyver 2, not the female Guyver 2. I want the male. I want Lisker. I want that one.
I got you.
Not the female, because I mean that's what Figma made in this scale, was the female. Max Factory made the male, but it was too big. It was more of a 1/12 scale. These, as I said, aren't scaled; they're non-scale. But
yeah, it's smaller. Yeah,
I need some to go with my new Guyver 1, man, because I bought the revised Ultimate Edition. I bought 2 of those from Good Smile, and they're bigger. They're closer to 1/12 scale. If you look and you see the Guyver versus Master Chief, I didn't play with their sizes there. That's how big those figures are.
Wow.
Unlike I did the Master Chief in the Warhammer 1/18 scale, I made him bigger.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. So up next, we have Figure Talk. So this is just some questions to get some insight about some action figures. I mean, how else would we have met aside from probably a convention or something like that, if not for action figures, right?
Yeah.
Boom. It's time.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so the first question is, if you had to pick a scale size to always collect and collect nothing else.
That's rough, man, because you know me, I'm not stuck in one scale. I'm buying Hot Toys, I'm buying.
But this is a Thanos level event. You can't go back.
Dude, I hate these questions when you do this. So you you see those on the internet, they're like, if you could only watch 3 movies out of this list, which ones I'm like, ugh. Hell no. I'm gonna watch whatever.
Obviously, the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
DJ SK says life size, and no, I couldn't watch Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think
life size.
I think I'd have to keep Star Wars over Lord of the Rings.
Star Wars, yeah.
Over Lord of the Rings, yes.
So original trilogy, okay.
I didn't say I'm not holding to one trilogy. I just said Star Wars over Lord of the Rings.
What's your name?
For that trailer for the Tales of the Empire that just dropped. Ooh, looks saucy. But back to the figure. Ooh.
Yes.
Collecting.
One scale to rule them all. One scale to rule them all.
Yeah. Collecting is the key word here. collecting wise, if I were just to collect toys, because most of what I buy is just to, yes, I like them. That's why I'm buying them, but it's mainly to shoot now. All right.
Yeah.
But if I were to collect, I'd go back to get vintage toys, which are all over the place in scale, though. I'd buy more. Like, I mean, I'm gonna do it.
He's going in a crate. He's going right in the crate, everybody.
I'd buy more of this kind. I mean, this is
This cardio session brought to you by 30&Go for MozToyBox.
Let's get the camera, man. This is my boy.
Let's do it.
That's the original.
Okay, that's just not fair.
Unpunched.
That is in such good condition.
You know how much I paid for this? It'll make you really mad.
No, I don't, because I would probably say, hey, for an extra 100, would you ship it to New York?
I bought this. I bought this about 10 years ago from my local shop from my parents' house, not here because I don't live there anymore. And it was a guy I used to buy comics from all the time, and he had it on his wall for $100, right? And I was like,
wow.
Oh, hold on, it gets better. So I was looking at it like, man, as a kid, I always wanted this guy. Could never find him. Could never find this guy. I was like, as a kid, I always wanted him, and I could never find him. I was like, if he was $50, I'd buy him right now. And he's like, I'll do 60.
Damn.
And of course, unpunched and everything. And it came in this case already, this plastic case.
Yeah, protective case.
I was like, okay, you got me. And then
right,
I went to another shop and found this guy. This was not in as nice shape, but found this guy to go with it.
Okay, yeah, that really isn't fair.
I wish I could have found the black one, but I couldn't. But
Symbiote, yeah.
But I found this for about the same price at that shop. Of course, the card's a lot worse. It's got the sticker peel on it. I could probably clean that off now. I know more, but yeah. So I mean, it would be vintage stuff. Which does that really constitute a scale, though?
I don't think so. But
if I were collecting, that's where it would be at. I'd be buying the old school, the stuff I grew up on. It wouldn't be a scale. Thanks, GJ. Yeah.
I know, right? That's one of my.
But if you're gonna hold me to a scale, it'd probably be 6 scale.
6, yeah. Okay. I thought you would say that too. So
yeah, I mean,
you and Trevor need to switch that name because Mythics are not 1/6, Trevor. Okay,
hey,
we love you.
All right, I'm about to pull the real actor out of my closet.
Next question: what figure or figures do you consider a grail? Pick any line. Any line. Now, this I feel like this is going to be even a harder question for you because of what you just showed off.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that goblin to me, to be honest with you, that was my grail. Because, like I said, as a kid, I was in the stores combing the place looking for goblin. I could never find goblin. I mean, Secret Wars was my jam as a kid, like when those came out, and because it was up until that point, the only superhero figures we had were the old ass ugly Migos, and then which are the 8-inch tall dolls, and then we had like hard plastic, like a Spider-Man that just stood like this, and he had a hook coming out of his hand, and he had his own helicopter and crap. But that's all he did was stand here like this. So we didn't have a lot of superhero action figures until Secret Wars, and of course, subsequently around the same time, Superpowers came out. But Batman, I wasn't a big fan of
I get it. Yeah.
I just Spider-Man, of course, as a kid was my jam, as a kid. So but Hobgoblin was my goblin. He was the one. I mean, Green Goblin had been out, but when I was reading comic books, Hobgoblin had just made his debut. When I started actually reading him, that I was like, this dude's awesome. Forget that Green Goblin guy. Hell with that guy. So
I got a little bit of trivia for you from Spider-Man the animated series. Did you know Mark Hamill voiced him for some time?
For Green Goblin or Hobgoblin?
Both.
I did not know that. I didn't watch a lot of the animated series. That was 90s, right? The Spider-Man 90s show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd stopped kind of watching that stuff because, girls.
Yeah, I do know. And it's like,
unlike the Big Bang Theory that we touched on earlier, I actually put the toys down for a little bit.
Yeah, we all did.
Buy them, but I wouldn't tell the girls I bought them. And then
we were all more concerned about our hair, and then
Yeah, well, I lost that battle about 30 years ago now.
I had luscious locks. I remember. So no, not really. Yeah. All right. So you currently have your Grail.
I mean, if you really willing to define Grail, I think that's it, because that was the toy that I always wanted to have. Another Grail, the one I don't have then, and I don't know if I would chase it so much now because I don't really collect so much that line, is Omega Supreme, the original Transformers Omega Supreme.
Yeah.
And let me tell you the story for that.
G1. Yeah.
I got it for Christmas one year.
Okay.
But he didn't work. So my mother took him
Oh,
back and didn't
no.
get me a new one. And I wanted that dude. I was like, Omega freaking Supreme. So yeah, I never got him back. I had him for a day and he didn't work. And my mom took him back to the naval base and they just didn't give me another one.
That's right.
That'd be another Grail in the vintage collection. But again, I don't think I would jump on it unless I found it for really, really, really good price, because I don't have a lot of Transformers. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 Transformers. And they're the DLX 30.
Yeah. Yep.
Bumblebee movie ones, because they look like G1 Transformers.
They do. Yeah, they do. They did an excellent job with it.
Megatron is from the War for Cybertron, but I took his tank treads off and replaced part of his weapon. He had like this blade with the muzzle of his gun in it.
Okay.
And I took the blade part off. It disassembles. It's not like I broke it. Took the blade part off and just hung the gun barrel on his back, because it was like a little thing for the tank. It was just little wire armature. Just, it looks just like him now. But awesome. He's shorter than Prime. That's a little annoying.
Yeah. Force perception, right?
But he looks.
You got a couple of milk crates from 30&Go, and you stack them up, and you're face to face.
Yeah.
All right. So our next session is all about your action heroes.
Now you got to clarify what you mean exactly, but I'm sure you will.
They were all your picks. So who do we have here?
Yeah, Miles Morales, Kratos, and Hiroyuki Sanada.
That's absolutely correct. All amazing picks, by the way.
I was really scrounging at that point because I was like, this is taking way too long.
The questionnaire?
Yeah, I was like, man, I want to go do stuff, but he needs this.
Yeah. Well, now you know why.
Yeah, Miles, I got his first appearance in comics, but I didn't actually read that.
Oh, really?
Well, it's a 9.8. You see that, right? It comes in a bag when you buy it. It's in a poly bag already.
Yeah,
it's like one of those sealed ones. You got to open it.
I'll find it on PDF and email it to you.
Yeah, but I never actually read it. But after reading the internet, everybody was like, the movie did him more justice than Bendis ever did. Like his origin, everything was done. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to taint it. Okay. I'll stay with Into the Spider-Verse and be happy with that origin right there.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Kratos, though, I'm not one of these guys that just jumped on the Kratos train with the PS4 or PS5 games. I've been playing. Kratos is why I keep buying PlayStation. Ever since the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I got back into PlayStation. I was watching my friend play, my friend Jesse, who used to be my neighbor, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah. And then, oh man, does it really need any explaining? I mean, again, I was really just scrounging, but I was like, Shogun. I love Shogun. And of course, he's like every badass swordsman and everything when you need a Japanese swordsman. He was in the Wolverine. He was in Avengers Endgame. He was in, Shogun. There's probably a lot more I'm just not thinking of. But yeah, Hanzo. Yeah, man. I mean, these are just some great action heroes.
Great, strong characters, and each character that they represent when they go into it has a very good lore.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
So let's go right into it. What's one superpower you want Miles to have? So Miles is an interesting Spider-Man in the sense he has everything that Peter Parker has and a little bit of extra, such as invisibility and the ability to generate electricity. So much so that I think recently in a comic book, he started to use and generate his own yellow energy sword.
Oh, a sword. I didn't catch that. I know his energy has changed.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't.
you're writing Miles Morales. You're penning it. This is gonna go on sale in a couple of months when you finish it. What's the new superpower that you give Miles?
He's gonna shoot webbing out of his punta.
Lou, it's your fault, Lou.
No, they said that in the movie, man. You seen it?
I know. I just had to blame somebody
You
Spanish.
shoot web out of your
And
punta.
Lou's close to
I
you.
don't know. No, Lou's up by you, man. He doesn't live in Georgia.
No, I mean as far as relative go,
Oh,
like on the show
sure,
every week.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're throwing a big curveball. I didn't sit here and think about what powers does he need. I mean, I think he's pretty well rounded.
I think he's well rounded too.
I don't. Shit, man. I mean, he's got the invisibility thing. He's got electric powers, and he can stick. And I mean, I guess. Well, the video game lets him kind of fly.
Yeah, with the
with the suit.
Yeah, squirrel suit. I call
it.
Flying squirrel.
So I mean, that's a nice little addition. But then again, I feel like that's kind of cheating.
In a way, yeah. Well, it only works in like places like New York or metropolis areas.
Apparently, it works really well in New York. You guys got some gusts, some gusts with rings around them.
Yeah.
You get these ringy gust areas.
It sucks. Try getting off the ferry at South Street on a windy day.
Actually, the wind was why I decided not to move to Chicago when I was moving from my hometown. I was looking for a city life, and that's why I ended up in Atlanta. Little did I think about the and if you're religious, I apologize, but little did I think about the Bible Belt situation that I was moving into.
Oh, so yeah, for your music taste and everything like that.
Yeah. So I didn't think it completely through, but that's okay. And now I'm sick of the city, and I want to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, moving to
traffic.
The country.
Yep, I'm sick of traffic.
So Miles is perfect the way he is.
I can't think of anything he needs. What
about the ability to generate extra limbs? Like,
would you want
call upon it? Boom! I'm 6-armed Spider-Man.
I don't like that extra leg thing that they keep throwing on Peter and the
extra mutation.
I like the one Stark suit that he had in Civil War. The book, not the movie.
Yeah.
And it made sense, but now all of his costumes got these legs on it. I'm like,
yeah, and the spider is really turning into a tick at this point.
Yeah. I am the tick. No, I'm the tick.
Boom.
Suck blood. Do you suck blood? How do you know I don't?
Then you're not the tick. All right. Next slide.
Love the tick. That was another one.
What would be your matchup? Kratos versus.
I already shot that shot, man.
Spartan versus Spartan, right?
No.
Which one was it then?
It's pinned, man. There's no excuse.
Okay. There's no excuse.
It's the first pin on Instagram.
It's the first pin. People, you gotta catch up with Moz here. I mean, it's not that hard to just.
No, it's not that hard, man. Do I need to say it? Do I gotta spell it out to you?
No, I don't think you need to say it. I think if anybody looks behind me, they'll get it, right?
That's right. Well, I mean, you're kind of small now, but yeah. But for those who don't see it, I did a shot of Kratos and Galactus. Kratos is in Galactus's hand, and this is God of War 3 Kratos, not God of Dad Kratos, because God of War 3 Kratos is much more angsty and much more like, I'm gonna just kill some mofos, and that's what I wanted to use. So yeah, so I think it turned out great. I don't know if you want to pull it up or not, but
there we go.
Yes.
For those who are not in the know, this is how talented this man is.
Now, that's two different shots, though.
It's so great
because Kratos doesn't scale to fit in his hand like that. He's too big. Kratos is 7 inches tall. There's a video for it, but it's not pinned.
Okay.
But Kratos is a 7-inch tall figure. Galactus is 3.5, almost 4 feet tall. So the scale wouldn't work. And really, he's too big. Technically, I mean, if you think about how big Galactus is, he would be like a little tiny.
Yeah, I have Stan. You can't see it, but I have Stan in his hand. I don't know if.
No, I can just see the form of Galactus there.
Yeah,
Stan's sitting in his hand. Yeah.
Yep. So, just to give you an example of how talented this man is, again.
So really, I what I had to do to shoot this, and if you go to my Instagram, you'll see the video. If you look for it, it's under the reels.
Yeah, do a deep dive.
What I had to do was, I put Galactus in the pose with the hand out, and I got all the lighting I wanted for him, shot him, and then before I touched Galactus, I built a platform for Kratos to stand on that was the same height because I didn't want to move the camera or anything. I wanted it all to be right angle.
Okay.
So I did everything the same height, and I was focused on Kratos where he was supposed to be the whole time. And I'm backpedaling a little bit. The way I did that is I just put something in Galactus's hand to focus on when I was shooting Galactus by himself.
I got
so that I had Kratos would be in focus there. And that way Galactus was falling off the way he should and all that stuff. So
yeah.
So yeah, I put Kratos up that high, had the lighting all matched. I added a little bit more extra light to Kratos on the front to kind of give him that edging that he's got, just to kind of pull him off that, the background, so to speak. And then I took him and I put him in Galactus's hand and resized him. And
yeah, I'm not sure how I stumbled upon your account, but when I seen that, I was like, oh, this is, and it actually might have been around the time you made that shot.
Oh well, was it?
We're recent, as following each other. It's only been maybe a year and a half at most.
That shot's not that old. That shot's about 6 months old.
No, I mean like in terms, not in terms of the shot, in terms of how we've been communicating and following.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful shot though.
Actually, it's only 4 months old. January.
Oh wow. So cast your boy in an animated voiceover role.
Oh, it had to be Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Yeah, put him in Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. If he's not already in it, I actually haven't looked at all the cast. He could be.
Yeah.
I love that show. That's a great. In fact, I think she's one of my female people that I chose. But Mizu, yeah, I love that show. It was a great surprise to see that on Netflix. That show, and I would love to have him in it. Hell yeah, man.
So
I don't know. He just delivers so well in
animes right now, right?
Sorry.
You would put him in one of your favorite animes right now.
Well, it's a no-brainer in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, except we're leaving. If you haven't seen the show, they're leaving Japan. So
I haven't. And
spoilers. Sorry.
And I'll be redoing Big Bang Theory again after this.
No, I'm talking about Netflix, Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Yeah, no, I know what we're talking about. I'm just saying, like, chances are I won't be watching it because I haven't watched anything new since Loki season 1.
So, oh wow, you missed season 2.
I missed everything. I miss everything.
Well, stop it.
Yeah, I know. What can I say? So, you a big Mortal Kombat fan? Because this is his photo from the Mortal Kombat redo.
Oh, I didn't like the reboot.
Yeah, I didn't like it too much. The huge plot hole for me was they're speaking Japanese the whole way through the movie. Then all of a sudden he comes out of hell and he's like, "Get over here. Where did you learn English?"
Yeah, that didn't make sense, but I had bigger problems with that.
To me, I was like, "That's so cool!" And you're remixing the original Mortal Kombat theme and giving me my fan service. But did he just speak English?
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been cool if he would have said it and there was a big subtitle that said, "Get over here." We would have got it.
Well, the funny thing is Mortal Kombat was actually a game that kind of changed my life. It changed the trajectory of my life a bit.
Hell yeah.
First of all, I remember playing the first one in the arcades.
Same.
I was okay at it. But I used to go down to the ocean front and play at this place called Flipper McCoy's, and we'd play Mortal Kombat. And then Mortal Kombat 2 comes out, and I'm working at an arcade. And the funny thing is, it was a boardwalk arcade was a theme, so the floor was all wooden, and it had slats in the floor where things could fall in. And I'd play that game for free all the time by digging quarters out of the damn floor. So I could beat that game on 1 quarter using almost any character. Of course, you no offense to anybody, but you put a little Asian kid next to me, I'm off that game. I get my ass kicked. They're gonna pull out Melina or Katana and just
spam
spam.
Those are the
and
spammers.
I'm not trying to profile, but it's what it was. Literally, it was. I mean,
No, I can look. It's not profiling and it's not stereotyping. It's
but it
your
was the truth.
experience.
That's what it happened.
What was your experience? You know, like for me, it was the guy who always had more quarters. He would eventually beat me.
Well, I would lose the first time because I just couldn't get in on him. You know, you would start. I mean, if I tried to make moves to get up to him, you know, depending on who they are, they rolled and knocked me over. And because you have to approach, they would sit back in that corner. There's no way to get on them. And that was some bullshit. But when I got to play, I could beat everybody. I like to use Raiden. You know, I would do the teleport roundhouse, teleport roundhouse, teleport roundhouse. Against the computer that worked on pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage, you just do the nut punch and then the kick and then the fireball, and that doesn't work on the girls, but you know you could kind of fight them regularly.
Yeah.
But the reason why it kind of changed things for me is when the first movie came out, my group and I from that coffee shop I mentioned, we all wanted to get dressed up and go to the movies, and the movies like kind of hired my buddy and us, but we didn't get paid. We just got to go for free. To dress up, and I dressed up as Kano because I was already shaving my head by that point. I was going bald.
No way.
And I remember I used for the Kano because I did the arcade, like the first game, because that was the easiest one to do. You know, take a karate gi, cut the sleeves off, and I went to you know, I think Halloween was somewhere nearby, or maybe it was a party town or something. I don't know, but I found a Terminator mask. It was like a half to make a Terminator like robotic thing.
Yeah.
And I put a red filter in the eye, and you know, that was basically my Kano outfit. So we went to see that.
Cool. That is so cool.
A little backpedaling actually, because I'm really bad at chronological storytelling. I really am. Also, around when I was 16, when the Mortal Kombat got released on Sega and Nintendo, I went to my local Toys R Us, and when I was in there, I saw this banner. And it said Mortal Kombat, you know, coming to these systems. And I went and asked for them if I could have the banner. And they gave me a job. They were like, how would you like to sell Segas? I was like, okay.
Wow.
So, you know, I was the Sega rep selling Segas over Super Nintendos back then. Even though the Super Nintendo was a superior product. You know how I'd sell it? Because Mortal Kombat was a thing. Everybody wanted Mortal Kombat, right?
The
Parents
blood
coming there buying, parents coming in there buying the systems for their kids, and I was like, Nintendo's great and all, but why don't you give your kid the chance to be the adult? You know, you can buy the Sega one, and they have the option. It doesn't come with default blood, but it has the option to turn that feature on, so that way it's more like the arcade. And 9 times out of 10, I'd sell that Sega over a Super Nintendo.
Yeah. That's all you needed. I knew you were going to say, because I'm a humongous Mortal Kombat fan. Humongous Mortal Kombat.
You play the two games side by side, it looks like ass compared to the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo's got so much more vibrant colors.
It did look cleaner.
Yeah,
it did look cleaner because I had played it on Super Nintendo at a friend's house, and I was just like, why does it look different? You know, and I wasn't putting the two together at the time, you know, but I still love it. Still love it to this day. I will not go down the Storm collectibles rabbit hole.
God, I so want some of those figures, man.
I so want
them. The ninjas look phenomenal, man. I
know. It's painful not to have them at this
They're
point.
expensive though. I want a Scorpion. He's beautiful.
I'll just be happy with my Mezco ninjas.
Sin City Collectibles is in the chat. Says it's okay.
Hey, AJ, what's
also
on,
bad at chronological storytelling, and he's doing pretty well. He's doing much better than I am. I like your Pink Skull Chaos Club guy.
Yeah, AJ's been rocking that for so
Storm
much.
dropped Mortal Kombat.
There is a rumor about that. Yes, there is. A buddy of mine on Instagram sent me what I forgot who it was. It might have been Storm.
Mr. Lee shoots for them. I could ask him.
Yeah, what they were gonna be showing off this year. Mortal Kombat is off of that list.
Yeah. But like I said, Mr. Lee does their photography. He would know, but I don't know if he would tell me, and or should I tell you if he does tell me?
It's kind of out anyway. Storm kind of showed off this situation where they're like, this is the brands that we're going to be doing this year or next quarter. And yeah, everybody kind of noticed that Mortal Kombat wasn't on the list.
Well, I also sent away for the Mortal Kombat CD. I don't remember that. They had a CD with all these techno versions of these songs for all these characters and stuff. I sent away for that too when I was younger.
That was you had to have a cutout from the back of a magazine. Was it Wizard?
It may have been. I don't remember. It's been so
Wizard.
long.
It had
I don't know where the CD is anymore. I still have the MP3 tracks, but I don't know where the CD is, unfortunately. Yeah. I do have my Sonic Spinball CD though.
Oh wow!
The music for Sonic Spinball.
That's crazy. All right, let's head to the next session. This is all about the ladies, man.
La Femme Nikita.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, who are the ladies we have here?
Well, Scarlett is just because she's really nice for me to look at.
Yeah,
she's my eye candy.
Concur.
No, I mean, actually, to be honest with you, I mean, look where she came from. I mean, she was doing stuff like the Horse Whisperer and stuff like that, and she was able to break out of the typical roles when she went with Marvel. I mean, Marvel did help launch her career, but then she's gone and done so much more on top of that. And you know, she can sing too, which is crazy. You ever watch Jungle Book? She does the snake's voice and does that song. And that song, I don't know, there's something freaky going on when that song.
I don't like about her is her voice.
Oh, listen to that song when she's.
I'm gonna have to now. I've liked your taste in music thus far, so I'm going to trust you.
She sang some other stuff too, but when she sang that, I felt kind of funny.
Oh, in a good way?
Yes.
All right. Up next, who do we have here?
We got Spider-Gwen, of course, man.
Of course.
And this is again, just as I said with Miles, this is my movie interpretation because I didn't do a lot of reading for Bendis and that stuff. So, you know, it's all from the movie, and her character is just so genuine in that movie.
Yeah.
I love it, you know.
I fell in love with her the uniqueness that she has.
Yeah.
And lastly,
Nimona. This is a Netflix original movie. And this is, you know, I didn't. It's based off a comic book, which I didn't realize. It was I think a web comic book, and then it got published later. And you know, this character is just really. It's a sad story, but yet so good. I mean, if you haven't seen Nimona, I think that was a great animated movie that came out I think last year on Netflix. And it's just a movie. You know, it's a one and done. It's not like you're watching a whole bunch of hours of stuff. And there was a lot of other ones like Jinx. I love Jinx from Arcane, League of Legends.
We definitely get into Jinx.
But yeah, I mean, these ladies are great. These are some of the favorite characters that I've seen lately.
All great picks too.
I just watched Lost in Translation again recently, and it reminded me, why I like her other than just looking at Scarlett Johansson. So
that's crazy. That's a great flick too.
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of went over this already, which was interesting. Underrated appearance in a movie or a role. What do you consider to say, hey, all right, if you haven't seen Scarlett Johansson in this, you really should?
Well, she didn't physically appear in Jungle Book. She did the voice of the snake, and that was phenomenal. It was a smaller part, but I mean, it was very just. You felt like you were listening to a snake, if that makes sense. Not like in a weird like a hissy, noisy type way, but just like something that's kind of a seductive and slithery and beguiling. You don't know what its motives are. And she did that really well with that voice.
Use my big words.
Yeah, well, I was trying, man. Hopefully, I didn't use any of them wrong.
She developed an anthropomorphic side to the snake.
Anthropomorphic widescreen.
Letterbox format, so you can see extra on the side.
But no, I mean, another movie I liked her in, other than she has a weird gait in the movie, which is really annoying to watch. But the way she played it and the way that she did it was, this is going to be a point of contention with some people. Ghost in the Shell.
I liked it, but I didn't love it, but I did like it, and I was like, hopefully they can build upon that, but they never did. It got
No.
such bad reviews.
Well, it got bad reviews because people were all harping on the fact that they cast a Caucasian to play the Major. But if you listen to the guy that wrote the manga, he's like, the Major prefers a Caucasian, a Western body. She prefers that. That's the look that she prefers when she's out able to choose her own body. So it wasn't that they whitewashed her per se. It's just that's the character. Even back then when the anime was out, you know, in the comic book, I mean, the character preferred that look. So but there was so much point of contention with
the source material, people, is what we're trying to say.
That was the same thing somebody said earlier today about that female Silver Surfer. They're like, oh yeah, I know your source material, man. She read a book, and I'm like, she was in 4 books of a title nobody freaking read.
We're not doing the James Gunn stuff where we pick a character or a team from obscurity, like Guardians of the Galaxy or that weird guy with the bubbles in Suicide Squad.
Hey, I liked his stuff there, man. That was good.
I liked it too, and he made it work. But where the heck was Guardians of the Galaxy before that?
They were a D title, like a title that nobody cared about. Nobody did anything.
That's what I mean, like in the sense of like we're gonna James Gunn this. You know?
I knew Guardians was gonna be great the first time I saw the first trailer. I was like, wow, this looks amazing, and I was right. But then you look at stuff like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff trying to emulate it. Like right now, Borderlands. Every time I watch that trailer, I'm like,
I feel the same way.
Let's just steal from Guardians here. This is what I feel like I'm watching, is like a rehashed Guardians thing.
Crazy mods. All right, let's move to the next slide here.
Yes.
We've got Gwen. And my question to you is, should Sony give her a live action movie, or should the MCU handle that?
You know, I don't trust Sony to do much of anything right.
Yeah, seriously.
But I'm petrified of anybody doing Miles and Gwen live action.
Yeah.
I think they've done the animated so well. I'm really like, why mess with it? You know, why don't? I mean, I've got Miles, Shamik Moore's voice in my head. I got Hattie Steinfeld's voice in my head, and that's just all I want to hear. I don't want to see her dressed as her, though. To be honest, if I was to pick a person to physically represent her, it'd be Millie Alcock from House of Dragon when she played the younger version of the Targaryen.
Okay.
That would have been my pick for a physical Gwen. Miles, I don't know anymore. I would have thought I forget the actor's name that played Lucas in Stranger Things. But he's gotten too old in my opinion. So I don't know. I have little faith in Sony though. If you look at Venom, they've handled that poorly. You know, it's been all over the place.
They really did, and that was supposed to be the Lethal Protector storyline. Like, what
was it? I didn't even know.
It was.
I mean, there was some fun times in it, but it was just not a real solid story at all. You know.
I tried to watch it again at home and I fell asleep.
Yeah, the nice thing with the Spider-Verse movies is Sony themselves aren't really saying the story. You know, they're not setting the story. It's I forget the creative team, but it's them that have
decided. Sony is like a spider-less universe, though. A Spider-Man-less universe, spider-less universe.
Yeah.
You know? But I like it. So leave it alone for right now, right?
I'm fine with just staying with the animated.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm also afraid if anybody puts it live action, then we're going to start putting this, and I hate to say it like this, but I'm going to, this woke type stuff in it. Like, for example, the internet's like, she's wearing trans colors. So the next thing you know, they're going to cast her as trans when she's not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying we can't have that representation, but
it doesn't need
start a big argument.
It doesn't need to be force fed. And, I feel the same way. I'm happy if you're happy, but don't feed it to me and say, like, there's a whole nother menu here. Let me pick what I want.
I've always been of the mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I am in that demographic where I'm apparently privileged. I'm not saying that to be like putting it off, but because I don't really want to think that anybody is privileged, because my life isn't great, but it's not bad. But anyway, but my mindset is, the only way I could see it is if I were in any of these demographics that they're trying to cater to, I would be offended. I'd be like, can't you give me a real character? Why are you going to give me a rehash of a character that somebody else loved just because?
No, I totally get that.
So I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's
actually a really good way to put it. You know, like, stop patronizing me and do something worth my attention.
I feel like it's very exactly the word, patronizing. Just
because now you're getting down to the lowest common denominator of what is entertaining.
It's like you rob Peter to pay Paul, and then but Paul is friends with Peter, and you're like, what the fuck did you do? Pardon my French.
You didn't realize they were stepbrothers and the money goes in the house?
Hey man, what'd you do with Paul's money? You gave it to me? What? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that.
Let's go. What is so how do you pronounce this name again?
Nimona.
Nimona's best or most entertaining transformation in the series so far.
Who got this question if you haven't seen this show? And how do you know? I'm gonna hit you back with that. No. I don't want to spoil things. That's why I don't want to tell you.
So I have the internet. No. It's like in my pocket 24/7, except we like sleeping, I guess. But I checked it out, man. I checked it out. Like when I got your questionnaire back, there were some things that I was like, wow, okay, like, I know Michael Maz and Invader Maz from his show and what he does on YouTube. But now I'm getting to see this guy, and I'm like, even in this 30&Go session that we're having now, it's like, yeah, like I would choose you to be a friend of mine.
Well, I appreciate that.
Outside of all this shit.
$5, please.
I mean, huh?
I said $5, please.
All right, no problem. Next super chat, I'm gonna hit you with that.
I'm kidding.
I promise I'll hit you with that. But so I watched a shortcut.
All right.
I found a abridged Cliff Note version, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is cool." So I have my favorite transformation. What's yours?
See, I hate picking these things, man. I really do.
All right, so top 3 transformations that you could think of off the top of your head in your recent memory right now.
Oh, the first one I think has got to be the whale.
Okay.
And that was just great. The dragon, of course. I mean, that was a no-brainer. But then the other one I think is the end when she becomes just that black. Spoilers, becomes that the big thing. You know what if you've seen, I don't want to spoil it, but she becomes this big thing.
And then Sue, and I merged Sue Storm into Sue just now. Stu from the Fantastic Four is like, hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up? But see, I'm kind of torn because there's that thing because I like what happened that scene, like that emotion in that scene, but then I also like the next scene and the things she transformed into next. I mean, it was just so good. I mean,
so go watch the show, people.
It was so good. I don't want to spoil it and say what everything was, but the way
is holding this information close to the vest because he wants you to have as good, if not a better experience when he was watching.
And the voice actor, guys, is Chloe Grace Moretz, and I've loved her ever since Kick-Ass. I'm just like, ugh.
There you go. Now you have another attachment to it. Yeah. All right, next.
There's also another great show called it was an Amazon original, got canceled. Peripheral. That was a really good one.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to our next session, which is the animated hero session. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So who do we have here?
Mizu, of course.
There you go.
That's from Blue Eye Samurai. I really dug this character. I mean, you of course figure out pretty early on Mizu, who they are, what they are, etc., etc. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but they did a great job of painting that for the viewer, and they did a great job of us being able to understand where that character, really comes from, what they do. And of course, they have a great look, and I want somebody to make this figure. I know Pablo's working on a custom.
Pablo?
Pablo's working on getting a custom.
Oh, look at you, Pablo.
He's further along than me, so I haven't started yet because I'm like, he's gonna have 100 pictures of this character up before I even get mine. So,
jeez.
But yeah.
So who do we have after her?
Well, of course, it's Jinx, but I hesitate to call her a hero. I call her a tragic.
Okay. Let's hold off on that one.
But she's also a hero.
You're already leading into stuff. So who do we have next?
Vampire Hunter D.
Perfect. Let's get into the questions before you answer them before they're asked.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No worries. No worries at all. But that's just that's the greatest thing about this episode so far is that it's almost like I can bring this stuff up and you are answering already without being asked. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No worries. No worries. Someone who's never watched Vampire Hunter D, what are some core episodes?
I'm the worst person to ask that question of.
Why is that?
Because I just made this guy up. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously though, I've only watched 2 movies of his. The first one and the second one, and I didn't like the second one. So, and it's because it was a whole different team that did it. But the first one was great. There was a movie. Oh god, that was like 1992, 93 was the first movie, somewhere around there. Yeah. At least that's when the US got it, and that was back when we called it Japanime instead of anime. In case you guys wondering, us old kids called it Japanime.
When I bought my
anime was a whole other thing. Our regular animation we called anime at the time, but now that's all bastard. We can't do it. But the first movie that I saw, it was just called Vampire Hunter D. And I watched it dubbed. I didn't watch the subtitle because I wasn't able to read and watch. I'm one of those people, like, I read too slowly. I could keep up with it now, like Shogun. I'm reading the subtitles. I can keep up with it, but at the time, I wanted to enjoy everything. But like, I mean, so in this series, this is obviously a vampire hunter, and his name is D. But he's, as you find out, he's a lot like Blade. He's a Dhampir, half human, half vampire. So he's got the vampiric abilities, some which kind of like Blade does. But there's no aging, I don't think. I think they're just all immortal. But he goes around and he kills these other, not just vampires, but other mutated beings or whatever. In fact, one of the best quotes I recall even to this day was he's fighting this one guy that he's having a really hard time hitting. He's just not able to hit him. And then finally he stabs through the guy, and then the blade comes out of the back of D. And he's like bleeding, and he's like, I was once told of a mutant that could bend space around him, and now it seems I've met him. Just like,
damn,
it was just really cool, man. It was just
that is cool.
That one stuck with me because their delivery was much better than mine. But that was just one of the first animes, and my buddy at the comic book shop gave that to me for my birthday. And it was just one of my favorites. So
you would tell somebody, pick up the first movie, sit down, and enjoy it.
I would love to find a new copy of that because I have a VHS copy, and I don't think I should try to play that.
Messing around with the tracking while trying to watch.
I found my VHS player. I thought I threw it out, but I still have one.
Good. Keep that, man. You never know what's going to happen with the Eclipse. So new tech might be just.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Oh,
this is why I wanted to stop you with Jinx.
I don't know, man. Well, I mean, she's happy with her choice, I think.
Maybe
if you've watched the show, that's the
spoilers ahead.
You have?
Or no, spoilers ahead for those who are on replay crew or watching.
Yeah. Right, if you've never watched Arcane, League of Legends, and you're like, oh, it's animated, or oh, it's League of Legends, throw those things out the window. This is some of the best 9 episodes of anything you'll probably watch in a good long time. Like it's like 3 hours total because it's a half-hour episodes, and it's done so well. It's done in 3 acts. So the first 3 is Act 1, next 3 is Act 2, then the last 3 are the final Act 3. And what I love is they came out and they said, we were inspired by Harley Quinn when we made this character.
Obviously, right?
And I was like, okay, but you did it a hell of a lot better. When I look at her, they nailed what Harley Quinn should be.
Yeah.
Whereas Harley Quinn has gotten so commercial, and she's not a tragic character at all anymore. She's just the fun, loopy, let's make fun of whatever and have pale skin, and Joker's my pudding and whatever. And, you know,
Well,
yeah, she's crazy because the Joker made her that way, but you don't get that.
Stockholm. Yeah.
But when you watch Arcane, you understand it, and it makes sense, and it sticks, and it's where I think it should live. I think throw Harley Quinn out there. This is. In fact, I got a 1/6 scale of her coming. It's on pre-order.
Oh, really?
You see some pictures of her, man. If she doesn't look like complete butt, because you know she's a third party. So.
Oh, okay. Some touch-ups wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah. But it looks like you can actually pose her hair and everything, which is awesome.
That's
because those braids behind her go all the way down to her feet.
Yeah, they're like I don't know if you're a wrestling fan, but Bianca Belair vibes.
I haven't watched wrestling since Hulk Hogan was relevant.
Okay.
WWF, you know, not WWE.
Yeah, you missed the whole get the F out era.
Yeah, I'm fine with that because I like my WWF.
Yeah, same.
Mean Gene, man.
Yeah, God rest his soul, man. What that voice.
Yep.
Yeah. That was back when you had to have talent and not just a song and a dance.
But I love Jinx. I love Vi. I mean, Haley Steinfeld is just killing it, man, because she does the voice for Vi.
Okay.
But, you know, just it's phenomenal. Just the whole bloody show is just so good. And I don't know anything about League of Legends. I've never played it.
Oh.
Just so you know.
Get on that, man.
This is my education.
All right. Up next, we have the next question. Did Mulan have any influence on you watching Blue Eye Samurai?
No. You know, the Netflix trailer just had influence. I was like, oh, this looks
interesting. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you know, because it came up as a new, and automatically starts playing the trailer. Page, right? Yeah, and I'm just like, ooh. So I just started watching it, man. It was great. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I always like, if it's in my face, I steer away from it.
I can see the Mulan reference when you look at her, though. And I stayed away from Arcane I stayed away from Arcane for a good couple months before I watched it because it was in my face, and I saw League of Legends, and I was like, yeah. But then one day I got bored, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
All right. So good to know that you found it, you gave it a chance, and you enjoyed it.
That's right.
All right, so up next we got some tips, right? So this is relatively new. I don't do this very often. I make an exception with it. I think maybe you're the third person in 4 seasons to get this question.
Okay.
Your predecessor was Trevor.
Oh, all right.
So what tip would you give to someone who is coming into the hobby of collecting?
This is going to be very relevant to me, I think, because that's the only way I can lock at it. I can't say what everybody else is going to do, but one thing that I find when I start collecting something is I start diving in. Like I kind of like, great example. I got my first DTOF, right?
Yeah.
I started just trying to fill it. I was like, let's get this full because I want this to look nice. You know, it wasn't so much. Granted, I was still buying stuff that I like, but come to think of it, it probably wasn't everything that I would have bought if I wasn't doing that.
I get you.
And I think, so you really got to pace yourself, I think would be the biggest tip. Pace yourself. Don't try to fill that collecting cove real fast. I mean, if you look, my Maji cases are up full. Like this top row here has got plenty of space. Pretty much empty one down here. But that's what I would go with, man. I would be like, just pace yourself, because if you don't, you're going to be in a world of hurt.
So Moz says to the community, pace yourself.
Yep.
Which is solid advice. I wish I knew that when I started.
Yeah, me too. I'm learning that the hard way.
It's and this is all through our experience.
Yeah.
So next question is, any photography tips to give starters? Aside from not buying a Nikon, you know,
I don't care what camera brand. Whatever you feel most comfortable with,
Pablo, because we love him.
Yeah, whatever camera brand you're comfortable with. But really, camera is not the huge thing. It's lighting. Lighting is your big enemy. If you don't know how to light something, your photo is going to look very flat, not very, interesting. It's just going to be like you took a picture of like a deer in headlights kind of thing, and then that's it. Lighting, you gotta figure out lighting, and there's a lot of good videos, but really, all you need to realize when you're doing lighting, I mean, you could look at the 3-point lighting system or anything like that.
God,
you want to get a key light, which is going to be your main light that's going to light your figure. And typically, I would not hit your figure straight on with that light. Anything that's going to hit your figure straight on, you're going to want to bounce that. You don't want a nice bright wash light in the face of your figure. Now, there are examples where that's not always the case. Like I have this picture of Batman looking up at a light because I'm going for that helicopter searchlight thing. Like he's caught Batman there.
Yeah.
And that's why that shot's like that. But for most purposes, if you're just shooting a figure in like a portrait setting, you want your lights off to the side and then bounce it around them so that you're not hitting them straight on the face and washing out the face. Typically. Now, there are, again, circumstances where that's not the case, but typically you do that. And then you want to pull them off the background. And this is why they talk about 3 lights. So you want your key light that's going to light your figure. You're gonna bounce some light around your figure, or even use a dimmer light, like really dimmer. And then you're gonna have a figure or a light that's gonna pull them off your background a little bit to kind of punch them out. So a rim light. So something behind them that's gonna give them a rim of light around their figure. That's typically how I would, get into that. So
there you go.
Lighting is your key.
3-point lighting system to start.
Yeah.
By Moz. All right, next up, we've got community questions. So this is where we ask some people you may know to come through on the show or submit something and send us a question that they would want to ask you. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's poppin', people? It's your boy Loco Lou, and this is a question from Moz. Moz, as a collector, what do you do for space? How do you manage space, and what do you decide that stays in the collection that you keep, and what doesn't stay in the collection that you get rid of? What do you do?
Oh man, what I've been doing lately is just taking over more rooms in the house.
Oh no,
I haven't actually sold any pieces as of yet.
I have. This last convention I did.
Yeah, it's I think if I were to sell anything, it's probably my Golden Armor Wonder Woman hot toy, because I really she looked amazing when I first saw her, but I just don't do anything with her. But as far as what I do, I mean, some figures stay in the box and I open them up when I need them. Some figures go in the DTOL, some go in the Moji case. But that's how I play it,
Spread out.
Yeah, spread it out, and if I need to, I put some stuff in another room, which my wife is not happy with. But I need to take a quick AFK real quick. If you can tolerate that for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Oh.
So if you're just joining us, welcome. But we're talking with Moz. We've been on for almost 2 hours. We're almost done with the show. And I've been having an amazing time getting to know Moz right now. And it's been unique in the sense that I haven't really met somebody who, has the same ideas, the same musical concept, same ear for music and things like that. So this episode has been great, a good, fun time for me. And while Moz is just stepping out, what we can do is we can go look at our guest Instagram so you guys can get a little bit more of what Moz does. And this is the most recent photo from Moz. This is the Toy Biz. Mr. Sinister. I will say I have Mr. Sinister right next to me in my X-Men. This Mr. Sinister has so much more character to him. He looks amazing. We were just talking about Moz doing this photo and how Kratos is scaled down, and this is a composition through Photoshop. So it's a really beautiful pic. And welcome back, Moz. We were just going through your profile and some of the other stuff
I appreciate that.
we've seen.
My bladder said 2 Mountain Dews. You need to get up, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know how you do the Mountain Dews thing, man.
Well, their diet, but
yeah, it's still for me. It runs right through me.
It doesn't run through me because I stored up 2 of them before I really had to get up. I don't know if you all saw me kind of going like, "Yeah, man, about this story." I was like, "Yeah." Then finally, I was like, "I gotta go."
Whoops! All right,
I got another one.
We've got another community question.
I appreciate your patience. Thank you, Pablo.
My question to you, Moz, is when are you gonna finally drop that garbage of a camera Canon and upgrade to a real camera like Nikon?
Wow.
Keeping it real, brother.
Hi, man.
So,
keep it real.
I didn't know that was that.
No, that's fine. That's fine, Pablo. I'll happily switch over to a Sony as soon as you buy me some lenses.
Well, now you have your answer, Pablo. Get on it.
Hell with your Nikon.
Get on it.
Well,
Pablo's got to get on it. So,
A73?
Yeah. Great answer, by the way. All right. So up next is the last thing that we do on 30&Go. So this is to be a collector thing that I've done in the past during the pandemic. It was good. I can't toot my own horn, but it was popular. Some people asked me to bring it back. What happened to this was a trending topic in my inbox. So what Be a Collector is you know what? I'll show you a couple, right? And then if you're interested in doing your very own Be a Collector for the show, we will gladly accept it.
I'll try. I'll do my best. Let's see what we got.
Photograph what you want, collect what you want, but above all, be a collector.
Put on life insurance. Get action figure insurance. Be a collector.
You don't need body spray. You just need to take more baths. Be a collector.
Say no to the wife and sell the kids and buy action figures.
He's got the Wonder Woman.
Be a collector.
Find out your baby mom's social security. Somebody buys it, take all that money, be a collector.
So that is the satire behind Be a Collector. It's the best, worst advice that you can give to having the collection of your dreams.
Well, we'll go with this right here. I don't know if it's gonna come off like that, but
all right. Let me give you full screen.
Buy your kids.
Hold on, Moz. Let me give you full screen. Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead. Buy your kids self-serving Christmas presents that you know they're not going to want, and you'll get to keep them.
Be a collector.
Be a collector.
There you go, man. Well, that was 30&Go, Moz.
Wow, man, that's crazy. Ender Shadow, man.
Questions. Ender Shadow has just joined up. My dude, great person. Met him at Legion's Con recently. So thank you so much for coming aboard and spending nearly 2 hours with me. That plus the green room. So I hope you had a great time, and yeah. So anything going on this weekend or anything coming up, the floor is yours.
This weekend, I'm gonna go broke real quick. I get paid tomorrow, but I owe somebody some money because I'm buying the Void Cadet and Mech.
Ooh.
And
Facebook group purchase.
I won't get into specifics because I don't want to name names. I don't know if they want to be named. But they're kind enough to give it to me at a really good price, and so I'm gonna. As soon as pretty much midnight hits, I'm sending them the money. as soon as the bank gives me my paycheck. So I'm gonna be broke then. Other than that, man, you know, I don't have a lot going on until Tuesday with Toy Photography Talk with Pablo and Trevor, and hopefully Loco Lou, who sometimes can't make it but usually does. Harry, aka cinematographer, insightful imagery, all great guys, man. It's such a great. I'm so thankful to have them with my panel. You know, every week they come and they take time to do that. I mean, I know I might give them some hard time because they have to go or you know they're late or whatever, but I so appreciate, and I want to say this here too. I so appreciate everything they do to help the show and the community. But yeah, every Tuesdays we got Toy Photography Talk. I do have merch. You can find that on my Instagram link, or I think it's also linked on. I think you have to be a member to get the link out of YouTube. But yeah, hit that like button, as Lou said. Thank you, Lou. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribing, and ring that notification bell. Get me going.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff going on, man. But I'm gonna be broke right after payday. I even cut down my comic book pull list. I had to go in my shop this week and say, I was like, you know, the 30 tiles I'm getting, we're gonna go down to 5.
That's
and
a big
actually
cut.
I added
That is a
2.
big cut.
Yeah, I added 2 after the fact because I pulled it down to 3. I was like Alien, Predator, and World Tree. That's it.
All
and then
right.
he comes out to because this is before they open. He comes out to the car. It's like, you still want Ultimate Spider-Man? I was like, yes. Oh my god, that's amazing. He's like, you want Ultimate? And I was like, and I want Ultimate X-Men too. And he's like, okay. So
that's a good
5
sales
times.
thing.
5 times.
The reminding sales pitch.
Yeah, but I just couldn't keep up with everything, man. It was just getting crazy. So,
Totally get it, man.
But yeah.
All right, Tuesday
Good,
nights, MozToyBox.
6 p.m. Eastern.
A lot of these guys on Instagram. I have submitted my photos, and I've become a better photographer for it. So it's always good to submit work into a show like this and learn from it.
As long as you can take the criticism. I mean, we try not to be too harsh, but there is times we got to make it a little funny about something. Oh yeah, ABACABB blood
code. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am Miguel of Go for Your Go with MozToyBox, signing off and wishing you a great rest of the week and a great weekend. Have a good night.
Bye, boys. Have fun storming the castle.